So picking up where we left off, we have just put or pasted our New England information or data into a new tab. Now we're going to go and highlight columns A through G, and we're going to double click on the line between A and B. That way each of these columns will have best fit. Next, we're going to begin formulas on page 196 in your book. So we are going to click in cell C12, and we would like to create a formula that adds up all of these numbers together and gives us a sum or a total. So I clicked in C12, and I'm going to go up to the Auto Sum button. And if I click the Auto Sum button up in my ribbon, it's automatically going to try to add together all of these numbers in a row. But we need to make sure that we tell the computer exactly which numbers to add, because this 1790 is actually a year and not a number that we would like to add. So we're going to make sure to click with our white plus sign on C6 and drag through C11. So we only have those numbers highlighted that we want added together. And we're going to hit enter once we have it right, and you'll notice that now when I click on that, when I click on C12, I currently see the number that the formula gave me, but up here in the formula bar, I can actually see the formula that I typed in. So now, I want the totals. I want it to do the exact same thing, complete the series, or copy and paste that formula for each column D through G. So I'm going to hold my mouse over C12, the bottom right corner where it turns into a black plus sign, click and drag through G. Now notice, just like I showed you earlier, it is too large or the numbers right here are too large for the actual cell size, so we're going to go and highlight D through G, and we're going to double click on the line that separates the column headings D and E, and when I double click, it makes them all just big enough for the largest piece of information. So now we are going to be on page 199. We're going to now start using a different formula. One's called max, min, and average. So we're going to click in cell A14, and we're going to type the following question. What is the largest state population in 1790? Question mark. So now we're going to go down to A15, and we're going to type the next question. What is the smallest state population in 1800? And then down in A16, what is the average population? Average state population, excuse me. In 1810, question mark. So now we're going to use formulas to find out this information instead of having to search through our numbers. So we're going to click in cell E14. Okay. So now we're going to type in this cell. We're going to type equals M, and it doesn't matter if you type a capital M or a lowercase m. Either way, it'll still find it. It gives us a list of different functions that start with the letter M. We're going to double click on max, and it automatically finishes the word that we need and gives you an opening parenthesis. The max of, and we need for 1790, so we're going to highlight the numbers in the numbers that correspond in the column 1790. So I'm going to use my white plus sign and highlight the numbers that I want the computer to use to decide which one's the highest or the largest. So that was C6 through C11. Close your parenthesis and hit enter. So now automatically it gives you the largest number among those numbers. So we're going to do something similar to this and click E15 and type equals M, and I'm going to go down and find min as in minimum. Double click on min, and I want the smallest or the minimum of the state populations in the column for 1800. So I'm going to go up here with my white plus sign, click on D6 through D11, close my parenthesis, and hit enter. So it gives me the smallest number among those numbers. Now I want to do the average. So I'm going to click in E16, type equals A, V. Now I can notice from here I have different ones that start with AV. I'm going to use average, opening parenthesis. It already gives you that. And I want 1810, so I'm going to highlight E6 through E11. Close the parenthesis and hit enter. And so now I have the average. So what that function does is it adds together all of these numbers and then divides by 6, because there's 6 numbers in that list. Okay, so now we are on page 201. And we're going to click in cell A17, and we're going to type which state had the largest population in 1830, question mark. And we're going to type in A18, we're going to type the same, but we're going to change one word. Which state had the smallest population in 1830? So before we were asking for the computer to give us a number and tell us which number is the highest. Now we're telling the computer, I want you to tell me, based on the numbers, what is the name of the state that had the largest population. So we have to be very careful that we do these formulas very, very carefully. So first we need to go and click in the data, any of these numbers underneath 1830. And we're going to go over here to our editing group and choose the sort and filter button. And we're going to sort from smallest to largest, A to Z. What that does is it moves all of the information around so that only 1830's data are in number order from smallest to largest. We're not messing with this one down here because that's actually the sum. So now let's go back and click in cell E17. Now we're going to start our formula. So we're going to type equals, and we're going to type a L-O, and we're going to choose lookup function. So we're going to double click on lookup. It's going to look up based on the max. So I typed an M, I can double click on max. The max, this formula also is on page 201 in your book. Max of G6 colon G11, closing parenthesis, comma, G6 colon G11, comma, A6 colon A11, closing parenthesis. So basically what that says is, computer, look up or look in this area, find me the maximum number or the highest number in this area, use these numbers, and then A6 through A11 says, now, based on the highest number, which state between A6 and A11 is the highest? So hit enter, and you should have gotten Massachusetts. And so notice the highest right there is G11, and it puts the label Massachusetts in that box. So now I'm going to click on E17, and I'm going to highlight up here at the top in my formula bar. I'm going to use my copy button. So I copied it. I'm going to click, hit escape if something crazy happens. So I copied it. Now I'm going to go to E18. I'm going to click in my formula bar, and I'm going to click the paste clipboard. And now the only thing we're changing is I'm going to delete out max and type in min, M-I-N. So now I want it to tell me the smallest population and which state it was. So I'm going to hit enter, and it should come up with Rhode Island, and you'll notice that the smallest number in column G is Rhode Island. So now we are going to format, we are going to click on back to our first tab that we used, 1790 to 1830 data. Okay, and we're going to make sure to take our filter off. So I'm going to click right here with where it says Census Division on your little button, and we're going to click the Select All box to make sure all are chosen and hit OK. Okay, so now we've put all of our information back in, and I even can go a step further and go to our Sort and Filter button and click Filter, and it'll take all those filters off, so it'll all go away. Okay, so now we make sure we're in this tab. We're going to go to our Formulas tab at the top, and we're going to go to the Function Library right here, and we're going to make sure we click in cell B3, and we're going to click on the Date and Time button, and we're going to choose or double click on Today. So automatically it tells you right here, it returns the current date, so anytime you open up your file, it's going to automatically have the current date that it is today. Hit OK. Okay. So now it lists it right there. We are going to use our white plus sign to highlight B3 through H3. Go back to our Home tab and choose Merge and Center. So it centers it across all of those cells right there and centers it across. So now we are going to go down to the bottom using our 1790 to 1830 New England tab, and we're going to click in A3 and highlight with our white plus sign through G3, merge and center that, and now we're going to use the Now function. And so we're going to go back up to our formulas, Date and Time, and choose Now. And it says it returns the current date and time. Hit OK. So it automatically gives you the date and the time, and notice that it's in military time. Okay, and now we're going to do our last. Actually, that is the end of this assignment. If you'll go up and you'll go to File, Save, and turn this spreadsheet in on Edmodo.